Hey everybody, fWhip here, and welcome on back to Building with fWhip. We are starting over here in our new little swamp village that we started in the last episode, as well as we worked on that lovely structure over there for the mansion. I figured a good first thing that I've been trying to do quite a bit around here, you can see all these babies, is, wow, we can't even breed them up yet. Oh, no, there's one. Okay, can we maybe get a few more of these guys? Nah, it looks like not quite yet, but we will be stopping back through here very, very soon. Mr. Sheep, you do not get any of that wheat. On top of that, I was thinking it was time to come down here and harvest up a little bit of the wheat that we have down below and start expanding that field that we have up above, because we need a lot of the stuff, and right now I need a lot of seeds as well. I've been kind of moving the lily pads that we have around here just a little bit more around the place, so they kind of form these pathways throughout it, and it's actually been really nice using them to get around. I think it's cool detail that I want to try and embody a little bit more inside of this build. This all being said though, it's not my plan for today's episode to actually be working out here. I'm hoping that we can move over and completely finish up the entire area that we were working on for the mansion. My goal for today is that we can finish that one up. And folks, by the way, if you would like to see the interior on that one, at the point of recording this clip right here for this video to get everything started, we still have not hit the 8,000 likes that I was asking for in order to lock in that interior. So be sure to go check out the last episode if you did not, and click the like button on that one. And while you're at it, why not click the like button over here? Helps me out a bunch and shows me that y'all want to be seeing more of the series. So I really do appreciate it from all of you. But that's a lot of seeds that we have right now. Maybe it's time to start a little bit of a chicken farm out in this area as well. Any last luck, Mr. Cows? Oh, it looks like we have perfectly timed this one to be able to breed these up one more time. I am slowly running out of food. I'm down to less than 3.5 stacks of steak left for myself. But that's gonna have to do it for now on the food front. This will be piling up like crazy here very, very soon, I'm sure. Now, over at the mansion right now, I want to start this off by saying very much thank you so much for the feedback on everything in the last episode regarding the time-lapse method and everything like that. A lot of people want to see more of my build process as things were going. And this one, to be honest, a lot of the build process was done in creative mode using world edit and doing stuff like that, which was able to come up with a more unique design here. So I think I actually really like that format, but I've got a surprise for y'all. Well, not a surprise because I'm telling you all about it right now, but on my second channel that I have, fWhip2, TWO, you can find a link to that down in the description below, but I'm going to be releasing a video over on that channel after this video goes public about how I designed this entire thing. I have a creative copy of this world that I have here where I actually also took everything that we have inside this one and designed it all with replay mod going on for the entire process. So a lot of people want to see my thought process behind that one instead of the 3D printing style of layer by layer by layer going all the way up. And well, I actually recorded that entire thing. So you'll see that video out here in the next few days. But folks, the plan for today's episode is to be able to get all of this stuff done throughout here for the entire thing. That'll be a big old time lapse that we're doing here in just a little while. That all being said though, I want to get ourselves started off with a little bit of a project today, a little tiny build project. I want to tackle one of these houses right along here because there's a block that I've been staring at very, very often that you can actually see out here in the distance, being the mushroom stem. Since I've been starting building with the bone block and the diorite over there, I've been looking at the other white blocks that we have inside the game and thinking they'd be really, really fun to experiment with, as well as the brown mushroom block. So coming over here to our dark oak area where we've been slowly chopping down all the trees to expand the city, we've got to get moving forwards with gathering up a few more of these guys so we can make something really cool. For now, I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and just get about a stack of this stuff here because, oh my gosh, have I been chopping mushrooms for quite a while now. Just to even be able to get a stack. You can see I have multiple stacks of the brown and the red, which is actually going to be able to come in handy pretty well for us on this one. We've got quite a few blocks that we can work with on this thing. If we take a look at all of the different mushroom blocks, we obviously have the mushroom stem, which I was hoping to use here, but on top of that, we have the red mushroom, which if we use all of this stuff right over here and kind of reveal the front faces of it, we get this cool lighter texture. It's like a light browny beigey color almost. And then on top of that, of course, we have the brown mushroom block. I think between these three, we can make a really cool house design. That one is a bit on the brighter side, so maybe we use it very sparingly, but it could be kind of a cool upper level thing. Let's go ahead and see what we can mess around with some building here though. All right, it is time to see what we can do with this stuff over here. I've got no idea what I really want to do, but let's just get some building on, shall we? I'm thinking some stripped dark oak logs would be really cool with it. So if we do that, and then we get the mushroom stem, I really like how those work together right there. So that's the main thing I'm going to use for the framework here. So if we count ourselves over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can do this, bring those ones up a little bit here. And then I'm thinking at the base, we're going to want to do some cobblestones. So maybe we bring something in right here. We get a little bit of a door frame, and then we bring it over to this side as well. Break that one out for the door itself or for where we're going to have this thingy. and that'll look really cool. And one thing I was thinking on top of it was we have the mushroom stem. I'm just going to leave one of these on the ground for a sec, but we also have the orange stained glass pane, and I feel like this is very warm, and so the orange is going to work out well for us here. And then catching up the rest of the roof over on this side to whatever else we have going on, and I'm thinking we could bring in some spruce here to help blend everything here together, bring ourselves up to that next layer. This right here is where we're going to start bringing in a lot of that mushroom stem block, because we can bring in them up to being the 4 tall, and the annoying part with these is if you place them like this, then we break that, we get this texture inside of here. So let's build this with the case of planting a window right in here, and then another window right in here. So we can just do the orange stained glass panes. That should work out really, really well on those ones. And there we have it. We'll detail out the windows and everything like that here in a second, but I'm thinking just continuing with the same style as we bring these out another one, trying to keep some consistencies in here as we're going throughout, but I'm thinking almost what could be kind of cool is if we do this and we round it out just ever so slightly. So we get this block right above here so we can place things in it. But then if we bring these ones out, let's just use some dummy blocks right now for the cobblestone. And we do something right like in that. Then making a tiny bit of an A-frame roof to ourselves here. We've got all this stuff coming up, and this is where we can add some really interesting things up here. So below we had the mushroom stem, right? I'm thinking I want to try this first and see how it looks without adding any of the craziness to it, of getting rid of the red texture. I guess this would be the more crazy one. So far, I gotta say, I really don't hate it. That's a little too red for me, though. So I think for now, we might go with just the mushroom stem. But if you like that, let me know in the comments below. I've got this other side caught up now here as well, and before we bring in our roof, I'm thinking it might look kind of nice if we bring in a bunch of these fence gates. Since we're just doing a little bit of a test here for this one, I didn't want to overly commit to doing everything, so as you've noticed, we've only been doing the front so far. I'll get the rest of this sorted back here later, but if you're ever worried and wanting to test something out, just do a front face of it or like a facade of the structure so you can get the idea of it, but without really having to overly commit to it, in case we need to tear this thing all down and it really sucks. It'll only take us a few minutes instead of 20 minutes. Back down on the ground now, I actually really like this. The more I'm messing with it, but I do want to try and incorporate that brown mushroom block as well. I wanted to see if we could get all of them in here, and I've got a little bit of an idea. We have this cobblestone face right here. This is going to have to change because I don't like cobblestone into cobblestone because it looks a little weird, but what if we brought this over here just to mess with it? That's kind of cool. I don't think it'll work well being on both of them. I like the cobblestone and then the difference right in there. Then I'm thinking for the windows here to help keep with a little bit of those warmer tones that we've been going for in this build, let's bring in some of the oak trapdoors in here to look like window shutters instead of using spruce trapdoors because that would be too much. Adding in a few more of our fence gates right along here just to help kind of smooth the transition out going all the way up, making this really feels like something that would belong inside of like a medieval city of sorts, which I think is cool. That's the goal here. So, you know, it's a good thing it's working out for us. Then if we do some flower pots right in there, that could look kind of cool. And I'm thinking, I've been loving seeing this recently, is where you add these oh, we got to be above it to extinguish them. That's right. But where you add campfires up there and extinguish them to make it look like a little bit of a something, like an awning of sorts over the top. But what flowers do I have a lot of? You know what? Let's go with the red tulip. That seems good. And there we have it, really situated into the ground. Also, we can add in a few of our note blocks over here and mix them up a little bit. And that is looking pretty solid. I think that's really cool. Let me know if you have any other ideas in the comments of how we could mix this up even more. I'm gonna get the rest of this thing situated and get the back of the house built up because as we mentioned, it's only a facade. So let me get that thing built up back here and then we'll get moving over to working on the big old mansion for the day. With one final little touch right there of a nice little oak leaf for us. I like a lot. I am really happy with how this house turned out over here. You can see the same front design that we have over on this side. Then I decided that we'd actually be connecting up into this structure. Not going to build that one today, but I added this little overhang right here. So we got some spruce going all the way up around, creating this little arch, then some stripped dark oak on top of that, and then some spruce and the brown mushroom block, and then using dark oak slabs going up and back down. And then we got a little bit of a nice back alleyway in here, and then kind of carbon copied the back of this one, which unfortunately intersects a lot into the roof from this other house, from our warehouse over here. So they do overlap quite a bit, but I think that's okay. It's not the worst thing. It's just the way it is type of thing. So then we got a nice little chimney up here. I added in a bunch of these trapdoors to make sure it's mob proof on the roof as well, so we can get any creepers drop on us. But I think it's cool. I really like this one a lot. I'm curious to hear what y'all got to say down in the comments below. But this is that little side window right there. Got some oak trapdoors. I was going to put them laying against it, but I wanted to get that in, so I had to do the window out right like there. Then I didn't put any windows across the back because I figured this is gonna be a very dark area. We'll find something to shove back in there. Who knows? I'm almost thinking about having it be an inn, like between this building and that building, as some form of an inn overnight area of sorts. I don't know, but I also feel weird about putting that in front of the mansion. For some reason, I feel like it just doesn't make sense. What does make sense, though, is my plan for this old mansion right here behind me. I am so excited to get this build running, folks, so I think without any further ado, we are going to be kicking this one off into good old-fashioned time-lapse mode and build or print or whatever you want to call it this mansion here. So without any further ado, let's get it done. Thank you all so very much for all of the support over these last few episodes. It has been absolutely amazing jumping back into this world and having so many people being so excited for it. But for today's build, I am absolutely so ecstatic about this one. I've never used that word before, even probably in a video, but I just love it so very much. Right now in here, we are tackling the tower. I wanted to model it after a lighthouse of sorts and just make it look really, really substantial and cool and kind of imposing over this corner of the area. So you can see us bringing a lot of brick in here to gain that brighter red color, and then adding a little chimney off to the side with that stone brick, and then some windows, and then using that warped wood because I'm really loving that contrast between the red brick and the warped wood texture. I think it works out really well for us here. Then over here, we're starting off the rest of the structures that we're going to be having one out of the bone block and diorite, and then another one out of the brick. I didn't want to put the two brick ones right next to each other because I felt like it would make it look a bit more like a blob if the tower and that other brick structure right behind the one that we built in the last episode and then the new one were all right next to each other. That corner would just look weird. So just simply swapping the position of these two actually helped out a lot for us. Then coming up here, I wanted to try a bit of a newer roof style as we're building a little bit of a trellis off to that side. Then we're starting to tackle the roofs here. On the brick one, we're just using the warp stuff. And then on the other one, I wanted to bring in a bit of a pattern. I've seen people like BOO do this recently, where you just take two blocks that work pretty well next to each other and just do them in a pattern going all the way around. So I want to try my hand at that there as well, using the warped wood as well, stripped warped wood that is, as well as I believe that's cyan wool in there. And I think overall it turned out pretty well for ourselves. Then of course getting the big old chimneys on top of that, and those are the final major structures that we have in this area. Originally I was going to add an additional one off the side here, but in the end I decided a greenhouse would be kind of cool. And just being able to be in this city and have a greenhouse in here, just in this random spot in the city as part of your mansion, just really shows the wealth behind it. So I thought that was a really cool touch, and that's going to be finishing up all of the structures of this build. But we've got a lot more detail work to do, so let's get into it. And welcome on back, everybody. There we go. This place is now finished up, and I think it's looking absolutely awesome. One thing that I did come across recently is I found out that you can put these weeping vines, on the bottom of campfires. And then I was working on this trellis design over here and thought that they would look really, really cool as a form of like berry bush of sorts hanging from up here, working with the acacia leaves that we have over here as well. Thought that'd be a cool little addition, but I absolutely love this place. I think it turned out so well. Super excited about this thing. I can't wait to decorate this greenhouse. We will get that finished up here soon, but I have this area open in this spot right in here. And I was thinking it'd be kind of nice to throw a cart inside. So I'm going to go 3 over here, and then we're going to bring it back, and we'll go, actually, let's go all the way back to the very edge. It's going to be back to all the way up here. Then from coming across here, just as a simple way of doing it, we just do a bunch of the spruce planks or right like that. And then we can bring in a lot of our spruce trapdoors that we have. This will create a nice base platform for ourselves here. And then we can take these stairs on the front, I'm thinking, and bringing out our fence gates. Right, like this. We can then add some oak fences to the very end and some additional stuff to make the cart feel like there's more stuff going on inside of it. We can bring in some of our campfires right along the edge here, extinguishing these so that we don't die to them, and that should help a lot with it. That just feels a lot more balanced now. And then I'm thinking also, so we can have this cart looking empty, we can just bring in a bunch of the trapdoors there in the middle. That'll mob proof the whole thing, and then the signs on the side should be good. And it is, in fact, good. I don't know if this makes the most sense having something like this in here, but I kind of like it. I think it fills in the spot. I did also bring over a brown bed, which has the bench texture to it, and I'm thinking we can just dot that guy right in here with a little spruce trapdoor on either side. That's a lot of the little details for this thing done. I think what I would like to tackle next is the greenhouse. I don't really know too much about what I'm doing in here, but we got a big open space for it. I would also love to be able to add some trees and things like that around the front point over here, just get some more detail in. So let me get the greenhouse done, and then we'll see what we can do about this open point over here. With every Minecraft build, you get to this point, or at least I do, where it's just like, I just am gonna tweak things all over the entire build. Like 3 blocks here, 4 blocks there, a handful of things over here, blah, 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 doing all that stuff. And it's been 2 hours. So I want to give you all a quick walkthrough of everything that I've been doing around here, and I brought this little pattern throughout this entire place here and then divided up the floor, so we have kind of the stone brick, the cobble, and the gravel on this side. Then it's andesite mostly with a little bit of smooth stone over here. Then to finish off this little area, we got a little lantern hanging across here, added some more of the lanterns underneath this point. Originally, I had wanted to come in here and build a custom tree like right in this point, but I feel like that's just too much. I feel like a tree kind of coming over this area could be really cool. I might mess with it, but then I think I need to get rid of these chains. That being said, I've also decorated out the greenhouse on the inside. So we got a big old tree over here. We got some other stuff going on in here. I brought in a few more of those vines as well, the red ones, and then planted a few crops inside of this area. And I think it's looking pretty sweet. Mostly podzol with a little bit of dirt stuff growing around. So we got some of that. We could do a tree right out in here. This could look kind of cool, just inching its way up the side. I had done this little guy right back in here as well. So maybe just a bigger version of that. That could look out really cool there. So with a little bit of a root structure like that with the branches and everything, I think that'll be really cool. And then we just add in a few of these dark oak leaves around the area. I think that could just, I think it'll be basic, and I think it'll get a cool little bit of a contrast in this area, having a darker tree out here. Then I just need to do the rest of this front place. Jumping over into spectator mode and some good old shaders action down here. It is looking absolutely fantastic. That lower right point with all of the grass down there on the road, we still gotta finish that one up. I don't know what I'm doing there. If you have any ideas, let me know. Maybe some storage or something like that. I feel like the wagon kind of belongs there. But overall, this build is looking absolutely gorgeous. We've still got to finish up the docks area down below as well. Spinning around to the front, this thing is awesome. I'm so happy with this build. And one final thing I want to do in today's episode is we've got to update the map for this area. We fly on over here into this great entrance that I have for the map room that I almost kill myself on every single time I come down here. We have this big guy. And that whole section right over there needs a big update. I really do love all the layers on this one of how far we have to move around to even get up to these points. I just think it's so funny and really adds to the scale of this entire area. As you can see, we haven't really done much of anything in here. So I think we just grab that guy. Then I think we're going to be updating 4 of them. I really need a better way to get in and out of there because that costs way too many rockets to get up and down that thing each time. It's so bad. Unfortunately, the build was positioned literally at the bottom corner or in the exact corner between 4 maps, so it doesn't look too great on the hand point, but maybe it'll look good on the wall. Looks a little bit messy, but overall I really like that one. I think that turned out really well, and I didn't actually update the swamp area over there. We'll do that after we start working on that village some more. One other thing to worth mentioning here, folks, is at the beginning of the episode, I said that we hadn't hit the 8,000 like goal on last episode. And well, since then, I've been recording this as I've been building a lot over about 2 days now. And we've hit the 8,000 like goal episode from last episode. So thank you all so very much for doing that. Please be sure to hit the like button down below on this one as well if you did enjoy. But that, for me, means that I need to design the interior of all of these buildings inside of, and I'm stuck. No, I can get out. Of all of these different buildings, I'm gonna need to come up with an interior design and get that one done. So we're gonna be tackling that in the next episode, which should be pretty cool. And thankfully, one of these was a greenhouse, so it's already good to go. I honestly have no idea what I'm gonna do, especially when I did the windows up here and then the windows down here. What was I thinking? The floor level here needs to be at this layer, and then up here it's 2 blocks higher. Maybe we just have it step down a touch? I don't know. We'll figure that out. That's a future fWhip problem, which is a great problem for current me to have because I can just pass it off to future me and it's perfect. Finishing ourselves off right over where we started, we can see the total difference over the top of those trees and it's looking amazing, and that cow absolutely loves the water down there. But I want to stop by here and breed them up one more round if we can. Are you stuck in a vine? No, you're okay. All right, good job, buddy. All right, anybody else? Anybody else want some wheat? Anybody want some wheat? No, seems like you all are pretty good now. And with that, most of our Minecraft chores are done now. Something about just having those little simple chores inside of Minecraft that you always gotta do, just, to keep yourself alive, keep the world moving forward, replant your crops, all that type of stuff, take care of the animals. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to be able to just take a little bit of a break every once in a while. And from all the insane projects that I do here, it's really, really nice. And I want to give you all an update on one before we end off the day. That would be right down here in the back of the tome. We have the nether portal. Just had a nice little bit of a fall down from our nether portal here, and that just says to the scale of this area that we have, folks, because I'm attempting one of the most probably insane nether projects I think I could ever do solo here, of where we are clearing everything out. So we have the old portal over there from the Fantasy Asian area, we have everything over there. There's our end portal stronghold, there's the Guardian farm, there's everything else that we have. If any of you have stopped by the Twitch channel and watched some of the live streams you've been watching, we have been blowing up this entire point, and right now we've been working on TNTing, as you can see right over there, which will be exploding in a second, the entire upper layers of the nether to get it all to drop down to a point where we can get flying machines over the top of it without risk of blowing up said flying machines. So today, as this is the final boom, I thought we could do it here to end off the video. For everybody who's stuck around to the end of the video, hit me up with a hashtag big boom down in the description, okay? And on that, with 3, 2, 1, we gotta run really fast. I think the sound broke. Oh no, there's the TNT sound. And there's all the lava. Oh gosh. No, don't get killed by it. There it all goes, everything loading in here. I'll have to clean up all of this lava here soon, and hopefully we don't fly into any, but that is pretty much how I've been clearing out everything inside of the nether. I think it's really sweet, and it looks like I didn't stack the TNT far enough to the wall, but oh my gosh, check all that out. There are a few more little spots that I need to clean up over here in the zombie pigmen. Oh my gosh, they really do not like me. What the heck, guys? Come on. I mean, I know I blew up everything in here, but seriously, hey, look, ancient debris. Ooh, 4 of it. Ooh, we can get a new netherite tool. But I think on that one, folks, with all of my piggy boys down there in the lava, we're going to be ending this episode off here. Please be sure to click that like button down below if you did enjoy today's episode. Click that subscribe button if you are brand new. My friends, I will catch you on the fWhip side. P.S. Don't forget about the second channel if you want to see how I built up the entire mansion. That'd be really cool. Bye.